Welcome back to my channel. You already know it's your boy Hood Diggity the Rock Reactor back with another video. Yes, sir. Before I proceed, let me know where you tapping in from. Let me know what country, what city, what mountain, what hill, what cave, what island, what planet, what universe. Let me know where you at. Represent your hood, yes sir. A world of love to my Ukraine, an abundance of peace, hopefully coming soon, as we pray every morning for my Ukraine, as I stand with God, I stand with Ukraine, yes sir. And we got President Zelensky at the White House. I think Trump should have met with Putin first. He's supposed to be meeting up with Putin in Budapest, I think, or in Hungary. I guess sometime next month. I looked it up. Let me see. He would meet. He spoke with him on the phone call. They had a phone call, but I think it's next month. They're supposed to meet. Now I don't even think they said when, but I think he should have met up with Putin first and then with Zelensky. Because basically, I know Zelensky was going to ask him for the Tomahawk missiles, right? And President Trump was going to say, not yet, hold on. He wasn't going to say yes, he wasn't going to say no. So I think they did it backwards here. They did it backwards because at the end of the day is basically Putin's decision. It's all up to him. It's all about how far he's willing to go. Because we know what Trump wants. We know what Zelensky wants. We want them to stop the war. But let's get right to it, guys. This is Zelensky. We're going to hear Zelensky's comments during the White House meeting with President Trump. And before we do, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Any donations to my channel will be greatly appreciated. My PayPal account is on the description. Let's get right to it, man. Let's see what President Zelensky has to say.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's an honor to be with a very strong leader, a man who has been through a lot, and a man who I've gotten to know very well, and we've gotten along really very well. And we had a big call yesterday, as you know, with President Putin, and we'll be talking about it. President Zelensky of Ukraine has endured a lot. I mean, he really has. He's endured a lot, and we've endured it with him. To be honest, it's been a long time, and I think we're making great progress. So we're going to be talking about that today. We'll be talking about what took place yesterday with my phone call with President Putin. And I think that things are coming along pretty well. It began with Alaska, where I think certain guidelines were discussed, and we want to see if we can get this done. This was long ago into the Biden administration. I came here and we inherited this, and we'd like to see if we could finish it, end it. We want it ended. So many people have died in this war, and we're gonna get it ended. So I just want to thank you all very much. If you have a couple of questions, go ahead, please.
Guys, I just want to say, man, isn't Trump the most positive man in the world? Like, to him, everything is good. This is wonderful. This is that. Like, when he talks, he just makes it sound like everything is perfect.
In fact, before I do that, let me just ask the President to say a few words. Thank you, President.
Pleasure. Glad to meet you again, Mr. President. Thank you very much for the invitation. Again, my congratulations with your successful ceasefire in the Middle East.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you did it. And I think this is a momentum to finish Russia's war against Ukraine. I think that, yes, we understand that Putin is not ready. I think not ready, but I think that I'm confident that with your help, we can stop this war. And we really need it. We see that they don't have successful steps on the battlefield, and it's good. I think that their army is weak now, but a lot of losses. They have a lot of losses, and in economy and people. And I think this is very important moment. And I wanted to thank you, Mr. President, after our phone calls. Yesterday I had a good opportunity to meet with the big American energy companies, and they're ready to help us. Yes, after all these attacks on our infrastructure, Russian attacks, and etc. And I had also meetings, thanks to your team. We had meetings with a good military companies. We spoke about air defense, and I want to share it after with details where we are. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Mr.
Very
President.
good. And I think he looks beautiful in his jacket.
Yeah?
It's a beautiful. I hope people notice. It's a good. It's actually very stylish. I like it. Yeah, please go.
You see, it's true. He normally doesn't really get all dressed up. He just wears a regular t-shirt. So today he had the jacket. And I guess Trump is complimenting him on that. I like that. Let me rewind this a little bit.
Good.
Hold on.
And I want to
Beautiful in his.
Yeah, right here.
with details where we are. Thank you. Thank you.
Trump always has to throw in that sense of humor somewhere, man. Trump is crazy. You notice how President Zelensky, he talking some serious shit. He's talking serious shit. And Trump wanted to come up with, he looks good with his suit.
So much.
Thank you very much.
Look.
And I think he looks beautiful in his jacket.
Look.
Beautiful. I hope people notice. It's a good. It's actually very stylish. I like it.
Oh, shit.
Please go ahead.
Under the Biden administration, the White House was fearing of a possible escalation. They were not allowing the Ukrainians to strike into Russia, fearing of this escalation.
Yeah.
Would your administration allow Ukrainians to strike deep into Russia?
We're going to be talking about that. That's something we'll be talking about. You're right. It's an escalation, but we'll be talking about that.
Mr. President, will President Zelensky join you in Hungary to meet President Putin?
Because it's a leader that we like. We like Viktor Orban. He likes him. I like him. It's a country that's a safe country. Done a very good job. He's been a very good leader in the sense of running his country. He doesn't have a lot of the problems that other countries have. And so we've decided that we'll be going to be with Viktor Orban, and I think he'll be a very good host.
President Trump, right here.
It's in
President Trump.
Hungary, yeah. We're doing Hungary, yeah.
With Putin, trilateral meeting, or is it just you and Putin?
To be determined, but I would say most likely it's going to be a double meeting. It'll be a double meeting, but we will have the President, Zelensky, in touch. There's a lot of bad blood with the two presidents, and I'm not speaking out of turn when I say it. It's a very difficult situation. We just settled the war, and after thousands of years, I guess. People say anywhere from 500 to 3,000 years, and I was in rooms, as you saw, because you were with me. A lot of you were with me last week with leaders that didn't like each other, but they were able to get along. These two leaders do not like each other, and we want to make it comfortable for everybody. So one way or the other, we'll be involved in threes, but it may be separated.
I just want to say that with that Hamas, that thing that's going on in Hamas, the war with Israel and whatever, President Trump has tried, still trying. He's doing real good. His intentions are incredible, amazing, very good, but that's far from over. If you ask my opinion, it's far from over.
President Trump. President Trump.
Was he what? Where are you from?
From Ukraine. You actually had a
Okay,
conversation
good.
with me.
Good,
in
yeah.
Munich. What if Mr. President Putin doesn't agree to peace in Hungary? What do you do then? Do you have
Well, let's
steps
see what
planned for
happens.
that?
I mean, what if? I think he will. I think that President Putin wants to end the war, or I wouldn't be talking this way. I think he wants to end the war. I spoke to him yesterday for 2.5 hours. We went through a lot of details. He wants to get it ended. I think that President Zelensky wants to get it ended. Now we have to get it done.
President Trump, Kara Castro-Noble from Lindell TV. And although I love asking you questions, today my question is for President Zelensky of
Sure.
Ukraine.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Our President Zelensky, President Trump, just brokered a peace deal in the Middle East that all Americans, both sides of the aisle, are very proud of. But to meet that deal, both sides had to make concessions. Our president has stuck out his neck in many ways to make a peace deal for your war as well. What specific concessions are you willing to make to end this war with Russia? Will you give up joining NATO? Americans have foreign war fatigue, and our president, as he said, we need our tomahawks too.
To me.
Yes, you, President Zelensky.
Thank you
What
very much.
concessions will you
That's some question, right?
So many questions
Thanks.
in one. Thank you very much for your question. First of all, I think we need to sit and speak. The second point, we need ceasefire. Even now, you see in the Middle East, it's very difficult to hold ceasefire. Everywhere, in every war, it's very difficult. We want peace. Putin doesn't want. That's why we need pressure on him. We will speak with President today what we need. We understand what we need to push Putin to negotiation table. And as I said previously, so we are ready to speak in any kind of format, bilateral, trilateral, doesn't matter. Matter just peace. This is important. And we don't speak about NATO or NATO. For Ukrainians, it's very important. Of course, it's our decisions of allies to decide where we are.
But are you willing to give up
Yes, but
joining
the
NATO?
most important thing for people in Ukraine, which are under each day's attacks, to have really strong security guarantees. NATO is the best, but weapon is very important. Allies on our side is very important, and between us, for us, bilateral security guarantees between me and President Trump is very important. I don't know, we didn't speak with details about it, but this is the most important document because the United States is very strong.
Sir, President Trump, you are the middleman right now, hoping to end this conflict. Who is doing a better job negotiating, President Zelensky or President Putin?
I think they're both doing a great job in that sense. We have to get it done. We've got to take some of the hatred of each other. You know, they don't like each other. I say that in front of President Zelensky, but I say it in front of President Putin too. They have tremendous bad blood. It really is what is holding up, I think, a settlement. I think we're going to get it done, and we have to make it long-lasting. As I said in the Middle East, everlasting, right? Everlasting. And the Middle East is a much more complicated situation.
You know, guys, I'm really hoping that, and I think this is what's going to happen. And maybe you could rewind this video after Putin had, you could watch this video again after President Trump meets with Putin. I think Putin, and this guy said it, this expert said it on the last reaction I did. He said that he's gonna ask for a ceasefire. They're gonna go negotiate. They're gonna go for a ceasefire, and Putin is just buying time for a ceasefire so he could go ahead and strengthen up again. So he could gather his troops could rest, his soldiers could rest, and he could negotiate more weapons from other places, maybe from North Korea, you know, get stronger and just come back and fight again. I think Putin is just buying time. Putin is just trying to sway off President Trump to buy time. But Putin is not backing down. I think if they do a ceasefire, it's going to benefit Putin. That's what they're going to do. And then President Trump, he's going to agree to a ceasefire so he could get the credit that he was actually able to do a ceasefire. That's what I think is going to happen.
You know, we had 59 countries involved, and every one of them agreed. And it's, you know, it's sort of amazing. Most people didn't think that was doable. This is going to be something I really believe that's going to get done. I had a very good talk yesterday with President Putin. I think he wants to get it done.
And President Zelensky, right behind you. When we were in Israel with President Trump earlier in the week, we heard a lot about the difference in diplomacy between President Trump and President Joe Biden before him. What do you see as the biggest difference in diplomacy between President Trump and President Biden?
President Trump has a big chance now to finish this war. President Biden now is not the president, so he doesn't have a chance to finish this war. And President Trump is really showed for the world that he can manage ceasefire in Middle East, and that's why I hope that he will do this, and we will also have such big success. For Ukraine, it's a big chance, and I hope that President Trump can manage it.
I would say the biggest difference is one is extremely competent and the other one is grossly incompetent.
Mr. President.
Sir, a few weeks ago in New York, when you two met, you said that you think Ukraine could ultimately take back all the territory that it's lost so far. Do you still think that's the case, or do you think there'll have to be some sort of
You
swap
never
of
know. Look,
territories?
you know, war is very interesting. You never know, do you? You just never know. With war and peace, but you never know. Please.
Russia calls Tomahawk supply to Ukraine as an escalation, yet it continues using similar cruise missiles like Caliber and
Yeah.
even...
Who are you with? Who are you with?
Ukraine.
You Ukraine?
Yeah. But Russia continue even using the cruise missiles and also nuclear-capable ballistic missiles in Ukraine since 2022. So do you consider providing Ukraine with the Tomahawk or similar missiles as an opportunity to equalize the possibilities of Ukraine and Russia and push Moscow to the negotiation
Yeah.
table?
Sure. We're going to be talking about that. That's why we're here. Okay? Fair question. Exactly as he told you to say it. But we're going to be talking about it. Okay? Yeah, please.
Your message to India and Hungary, who is still refusing.
You said India and Hungary?
Hungary.
That's an interesting.
And Hungary
India and
refusing
Hungary.
to
It's
stop
an interesting
buying-
combination.
refuse to stop buying Russian oil.
Well, India is not going to be buying Russian oil anymore. And Hungary is sort of stuck because they have one pipeline that's been there for years and years and years, and they're inland. They don't have sea. They don't have sea. And I spoke with the very great leader of Hungary, and they are, you know, it's very hard for them to get oil. I understand it. Hungary's in a very interesting position because they can't have ports. You know, they're surrounded by land. So we'll see what happens there. But India will not be buying oil from Russia. And they've already de-escalated, and they've more or less stopped. They're pulling back. They bought about 38% of the oil, and they won't be doing it anymore.
President Trump has been helping you in achieving peace in Ukraine.
Who has?
First Lady Melania Trump
Yeah.
has been helping in returning abducted Ukrainian children from Russian captivity. President Zelensky, do you appreciate those efforts? How do you assess them? And did you ask her to step in and to help you?
No, she wanted to do it. She felt very strongly about the children, and she's done a really good job, I think, in bringing it to the fore. You know, we have a lot of children involved. Now, it's some people say it's 20,000, and some people say it's 300. There's a big difference between that, so nobody really knows. But she felt very strongly about the children. She thinks about the children all the time.
President Trump, if you okay Tomahawks to Ukraine, what's going to happen if the United States is in a conflict and we need the Tomahawks? Do we have enough?
That's a problem. We need Tomahawks, and we need a lot of other things that we've been sending over the last 4 years to Ukraine. We've been, you know, we gave them a lot. Now we have a different situation. We send it to the European Union. They pay for it and all that, and they have plenty of money. But it's beyond the money. You know, we need Tomahawks, or we need a lot of other weapons that we're sending to Ukraine. And one of the reasons we want to get this war over is exactly that. It's not easy for us to give. You're talking about massive numbers of very powerful weapons. So that's one of the things we'll be talking about. Hopefully they won't need it. Hopefully we'll be able to get the war over with without thinking about Tomahawks. I think we're fairly close to that. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say,
Yeah, please.
just to understand. So for today, of course, we want to finish this war, but the war is another technological war. You don't use just Tomahawks. If you want to target a military goal, you need thousands of drones. It goes together with such missiles. Ukraine has such thousands of our production drones, but we don't have Tomahawks. That's why we need Tomahawks. But United States is a very strong production, and the United States has Tomahawks and other missiles, very strong missiles, but they can have our thousands of drones. That's why where we can work together, where we can strengthen American production.
And so just so that I understand, so you're suggesting kind of a trade. If President Trump okays Tomahawk missiles to help you launch
Yes, it's
into
about
Russia,
military goals. It's
then you
only
would
about
let-
military goals.
Right, but then you would authorize some kind of an exchange where
Yes, of course.
the U.S. gets
Yes, we have
Ukrainian-
proposition. Yeah,
And
we have big proposition
President-
with our drones.
President
Yeah.
Trump, I don't mean to be brokering an arms deal here, but is that something that you would be interested in, Ukrainian drones?
We are, yeah, we would. We have a lot of drones right now. We build our own drones, but we also buy drones from others, and they make a very good drone. I mean, drone warfare has really come to the fore over the last couple of years because of this war. I will say, there's nothing like the jets. You know, we knocked out a lot of drones in Israel. We were knocking them out for Israel, and we were doing it with extremely fast and powerful jets, following the drones and knocking the hell out of them. So, you know, we know a lot about the drones, and we know a lot about the great jets, the great ones. The ones, well, and the B-52s, which were totally they were stealth. They were undetectable. So we have a lot of different weapons. And, you know, I have an obligation also, though, to make sure that we're completely stocked up as a country, because you never know what's going to happen. In war and peace, right? You never know what's going to happen. So we're going to be talking about Tomahawks, and would much rather have them not need Tomahawks. Would much rather have the war be over, to be honest, because, you know, we're in it to get the war over. We're selling a lot of different types of weapon, as you know, to the European Union. We're not in it for that. We're in it to get it over. We're losing thousands of people a week. Thousands of people, Russian, Ukrainian, and mostly soldiers. I mean, mostly soldiers. But we're in it to see that end. And if we can end quickly, and I think we can. I mean, I had a very good talk yesterday. We're going to be talking about it. But I had a very productive talk yesterday with President Putin. We'll see what happens. But the war in the Middle East was far more complicated. We got that one done. And I think we have a good chance. I think President Zelensky wants it done, and I think President Putin wants it done. Now all they have to do is get along.
You know, Trump read my mind, guys. And I was about to stop the video to say it, but I wanted to wait till the video ended. Instead of tomahawks and drones, why not have peace and reconstruction? That's what we need. That's what the world needs. That's what Ukraine needs. That's what Russia needs, guys. That's what they both parties needs. Maybe Ukraine needs it more because the war, as far as structure-wise, infrastructure-wise, I think the war, based on what I know, the war has hit Ukraine harder as far as buildings and structures. So yeah, what we need is peace and reconstruction. But guys, I'm going to tell you, when it comes to Putin, I am very pessimistic about this. I truly believe that Putin is just buying time because he knows he's losing the war, but he's not going to give up. He's not just going to stop the war because it's an ego problem with him. It's just an ego problem. He's not going to stop the war because he doesn't want to go down as being the loser of the war, as he would call it, because he's already lost. Ukraine's already lost. There is no winners in a war because a lot of innocent lives and a lot of money is spent. The Tomahawk missiles cost us money. Drones cost money. Everything. Buildings get destroyed. All the oil refineries getting destroyed. That's to reconstruct that. To reconstruct that. That's a lot of money. So a lot is lost. But I think it all weighs down on Putin's ego. So like I said, guys, and maybe you want to watch this video again. What's going to happen after Trump meets with Putin? He's going to order a ceasefire. They're going to agree on a ceasefire, okay? Trump is going to get the credit for the ceasefire. And it's good. I love the way Trump is dealing with this. I love the way he's handling this. I love it. I love it. It's just, and I love his intentions. But he's going to do it because he wants to get the credit. Okay, I got the ceasefire, but the ceasefire is just buying Putin time. And I think President Zelensky knows that. Guys, you already know, man. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Let me know what you think in the comment, guys. Let me know what you think, what you don't think. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know what's going to happen. And of course, subscribe to my channel once again. Click, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Any donations to my channel will be greatly appreciated. My PayPal account is on the description. Love you, Ukraine. Peace, love, and God bless.